All right. Talk, Michi. Come on. All right, gotcha. All right. So this is a YouTube video, as I told you. It's more of like a 2025 slash reflection slash goals slash talking about what happened this year. And by the way, let's just introduce ourselves first for the YouTube video, and just I don't know if how many people are gonna watch this, but this is also a reflection for me to see it for 2025 in December of next year to see how much we achieve and talk about this year, which it was very kind of insane. But at the same time, I feel if you don't talk it, you don't place it somewhere in a video or something, you're gonna forget it eventually. And I feel like we're in this time of the year where everybody's get documented, so I think it should get documented.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so my name is Armando, and and
Amanda.
we're wedding videographers in the Northeast in New Jersey specifically. We do weddings. We do pretty much weddings. Once in a while, we do corporate event regularly, but we do it sometimes. Mainly, we focus on storytelling, and we currently are in the process as this video launch launching again our new brand, which is called the Four Film, which I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited that is gonna come up literally the 31st. We're still working on the website with the graphic design, but at least we're launching the brand.
Yeah.
I feel like 2025 should be a new fresh start. Regardless, we got a little behind with the design. I think we should at least have our new name out there for 2025, not still rolling with the new old name.
Yeah, we're going to be okay. Don't worry.
I know we're gonna be okay. But anyways, uh I know we have this conversation about having to do this for a long time, for the past 3 weeks, about talking about reflecting about this year 2024, and I was gonna do the good and bad and the ugly, but I feel like more into 2025, I feel I want to take it to a next level of talking about the good stuff, reflecting what could have improved, and hopefully for next year not making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
Because if you keep on this trend of not never talk about these issues, but making it regardless if you know it's the issue, then you're not making progress. You just fall into the same trap again and again. By the way, this is Michi. She just wanna
Say
chill with
something,
us.
Michi. Say something.
All right, so let's start. I would say let's start with the things that let's start with the things that we could improve for next year, and then like at the end, let's start with the end. We can start with it. We finish with the good stuff that like we feel like we did, and we're looking to keep it up like that way. So for this year, I think my biggest pet peeve for this year was we travel a lot, which I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we were able to work with so many couples outside of the state of New
Yeah, it
Jersey.
was really fun.
It was fun. Hey, I can't deny it was fun to be in another state. It was fun to get to
Yeah.
know other cultures and get to know other people,
Mm-hmm.
see their lifestyle. Everybody in the and the United States is so big. Like people don't understand how huge this country is and how many cultures is in this country and how people live their life differently in other states. I feel like everybody feels in a bubble or gets trapped in their bubble and don't understand that there's people out there that live very
Mm-hmm.
differently.
Yeah.
Um, but I kind of like next year I want to be more intentional with where we travel. Like I want to travel in places where I feel like this year we travel a lot, which was great, but we didn't account too much about the travel costs. About traveling is expensive, guys. Like you wouldn't think, but travel, especially traveling with two people like Amanda and I, we were like two videographers that we travel together. We pay for a hotel, we pay for the
For food.
transportation or food gets expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Especially if we go on plane, is more. It gets a bit more expensive because now we had to take all the equipment to a different place, and it can be a bit hard to carry all of that.
yeah, I think a lot of people don't account that video travel with a video equipment is a lot more expensive than you would think.
Mm-hmm.
I think like photographers has it a little bit easier to travel
Yeah.
because you can just travel with a whole like one backpack, maybe
And carry on. That's it.
a carry-on to carry more flashes, but
Mm-hmm.
that's about it. Else we need to carry light stands, tripods. Uh,
The
you
lights,
you cannot
the
check you
cameras.
cannot check your camera, so you gotta put it on like a place where like you gotta put in your carry-on. So now you have to get a check bag to put your clothes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of moving parts to travel, and I can imagine like we only travel during in national. We didn't travel international, but I can imagine how it is to travel international with equipment. I think
Yeah.
it's an old ball game. But yeah. So this year, I mean, this year I think the only bad thing regardless travel was not counted for those extra costs that obviously eats into your profit. And I think like if someone is watching and you plan to do travel, first of all, it's fun. Don't get scared about traveling. I think it's fun and you should experience it and get it out of your system if that's something that you want to do. And two, if you're doing it, um,
Arrive with time to
arrive with
airport.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be one of those. This year we got that JetBlue kind of issue. I got one of my friends that had that issue where
Yep.
the system kind of shut down in the airports. They couldn't, no plane couldn't take off in any part of the country. So if you had a wedding the same day, which is already insane, if you're traveling the same day for the wedding, but if you have a wedding literally the next day, if you're like 8 hour drive, 10 hours, 12 hours, 24-hour drive, you're not gonna make it even driving. You don't have the time to arrive, even if you drive the whole 12 hours. So definitely get there early. That's another thing that people don't count when you travel for weddings. You have to be at least 2 days before the wedding day. At least that's
Mm-hmm.
for us. Then if you want to arrive a day before, I think it's risky, but
Yeah.
you can do it. You can. It's just
I mean, it's better than doing it the same day of the wedding.
listen. Don't do that.
That's
Like,
crazy.
don't do
Don't do
that. Don't do it.
it.
Don't do it. But
Oh, and try to get TSA pre-check.
get your TSA pre-check.
That's a lifesaver right there.
Like Xavier, we did it in December. The lines were like close to 45 and almost an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and you just walk through the TSA pre-check like 5 minutes, and you're right close to your gate. Like you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
wait. So I think that's very beneficial for anybody that travels more than like
Yep.
at least once a year. If you travel more than once a year, get your TSA pre-check. Is worth it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
All right, so what has been for you like an improvement that you want to improve for next year that like you felt like this year was like you realized this year you wanted to improve for
Mm.
next year?
I mean, this year I have improved a lot in a different how I like how I do like weddings, how I video or how I don't know, it has been a bit learn I have learned a lot this year, so I don't know, what's your critique what you told me?
My critique for you,
Yeah.
I think like as we move up the ladder in terms of weddings and like how it gets complicated, I feel like every year we get new challenges, which is great. Um, and weddings, and I think like you're slowly becoming a solid shooter. Like you're slowly becoming a better videographer. I think it's a process. I think you always gotta look up into what you can improve every year as a videographer. And even myself,
Yeah.
been doing it for years, I still look into what can I improve every year, like in lighting, in audio, or in
It takes time to learn.
yeah, in what lenses to use and what
Yeah.
moments to use it. I feel like we're in this time where like not a lot of people take on account like improvements. Self-improvement is more about like money, especially when you're in this type of industry where you just like you can make good money and you don't need to be very good to make money. Like you just gotta be good enough.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people accounting to improve in their skills. They just wanna, make their money, which is nothing wrong with it, but I feel like if you wanna stay if you're planning to stay in a more like in the long time in the long game, or what is that? I
In
was
the long term.
Yeah, if you want to stay in the long term, I think you should definitely start looking at how to improve better your skills.
Yeah.
Um, because eventually, once you hit the top time, like the top place, like people in the top place don't mess around. They're very good. Like they don't.
Yeah.
That you're competing with like the cream of the cream, like the people that do great work. That like you're competing with very good talent. So if you're just not improving every year, you keep your skills at this level, eventually when you're trying to scale your business, you're gonna hit that wall where you need to have a better product.
Yeah, but
Um,
I feel that this year I learned a lot, to be honest. Compared to the years like before, it was a bit like I have improved a lot, I think.
well, I feel like also this year we have a lot of more like better weddings. Like like we have more challenging weddings in terms of like it put us
Oh,
to
yes.
challenge our skills, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this year has been those type of years where like every wedding that you're doing, like there's something pops up out of nowhere and you had to solve the issue regardless
Yeah.
if it's your fault or not. Like
And
you
time managing as well.
damn
Be
times
on top
management.
of that.
Yeah, so like let's talk about like some of these weddings. Obviously don't mention any names,
Of course not.
don't mention or any reference, so don't mention venues, but like what has been for you your toughest wedding of the year? Like and
Oh
what
my
that taught
God.
you to like
Wait, give me a second. Let me think about that. Uh, you can start saying yours while I think which one has been mine
okay, I'll
from my
start.
point of view.
I mean I can mention this one because I know the groom and I'm not talking anything bad about it. For me, my toughest wedding in terms of how stressful was, but enjoyable at the same time because we have done it, but then we did it this year and it was a little bit. It's like last year where that so we did like a Disney wedding this year, and last year we did a Disney wedding too in 2023, but didn't feel as I wouldn't say like complicated. I was like it was more pressure. I felt more pressure at this year's wedding
Yeah.
because it really felt like we like someone with like non skills wouldn't be able to handle that type of wedding. Like I felt like even myself, like I've been filming for 5 years
Mm-hmm.
and more. Like I'm 5 years weddings, but more in terms of videography. I felt sometimes during that wedding like a newbie
Yeah.
because they give you very little time to a lot of things, and it's not so much it was the complicated about the couple because the couple was a very nice couple.
Oh, they were really lovely.
It was more about the pressure. It
Mm-hmm.
was very pressure wedding. Like you had to go back to back to two events. Like
And you had to be on time on everything.
yeah, you have to be on time. Like they don't wait. Like Disney don't
No,
wait
they
for you
don't.
to be ready. Like they're like, you ready? Oh no, you're not ready. You got like 2 minutes. Like come on, like like
Like,
hurry up,
hurry
boy.
up. Hurry up.
Hurry up, boy. Like you ain't what? No, you gotta go ahead. Like we got no time. Um, so I think that was like I would say like one of my challenging weddings in a good way because it challenged my skills and I learned a lot about myself after I finished that wedding. I learned like a lot of things that I had to improve if I want to keep going onto the market. Um, and things to like to like keep modifying on my in my workflow to make a better make a better film, but I think be better at the wedding, like a better filmmaker. But yeah, I feel like that was my most challenging wedding this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, I think that was really challenging, but I'm thinking one that was really like I was a bit stressed that day, but I don't remember which one. I don't remember. I think it was a
But what was the issue
I
that
know it
makes you
was in the
stressed?
summer.
Okay,
It was in the summer, right?
it was a lot of locations that you needed to film.
Oh yes. I think it was that one.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Which one are you talking about? You're talking about the one that I almost didn't make it to a church.
Oh yes, that was really stressful for
Okay.
me because I was like, okay, Amanda's not going to make it, and the ceremony is about to start. I was like, thanks God I had like a backup audio, so I was like, okay, I can do this while Amanda comes. But at the end, everything came out good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything, any of the weddings that we did this year came out wrong.
Mm-mm.
It just were, some of them were a little bit on the challenging side that we ended up solving, thankfully. Most, like all of them, like pretty much. There was like, I know which one you're talking. We were very tight on schedule, and I think we didn't count when there were the timeline was sent. There was no too much count on the time to travel from what
Mhm.
the bride and groom were getting ready
Yeah.
to the
Ceremony
ceremony,
plays.
to the church, and there were not enough time. And I think you arrived early than me because I told you,
Yeah.
hey, go there early, don't wait too much because there's no time for to both to arrive at the same time.
No, and also remember that they were getting ready in different locations.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I had everything.
yeah. So, and I remember I didn't have a ride, so I was looking for an Uber, and my Uber was taking forever. And then someone took me, and thankfully there was someone kind in their bridal party that took me to
Mhm.
the ceremony because my Uber wasn't arriving. And if my Uber, like if I would
It would
have
be
waited for
so
my
late.
Uber,
Yeah.
I would be late. You probably would have to film by
Mhm.
yourself. So, thankfully I arrived to the ceremony like 10 minutes before the bride walked down the aisle,
I know.
which was insane. And
But at
we made it
least I had
happen.
everything ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it was stressful, but it was stressful, but we made it happen. That's what we do. We make things
Mhm.
happen. So, um, I mean, other thing that you want to talk about, I want to talk about. So we talk about the challenging weddings. Obviously, with that were kind of like the two that I felt like this year was challenging. Obviously, I think any wedding has some challenges, but those were kind of like the ones that we felt stress and like a lot of stress.
Mhm.
What would you say would be like the wedding that you enjoy working the most? And again, you don't have to put their names or anything, but you can give reference to what was and why was it?
Hmm. Which one I have more I enjoy? That's a tough question because I have a few of them.
Okay, you have few, but
Mhm.
mention one.
Mitch. Sorry. Hmm. Probably. Probably the one that we you know the Brazil.
Brazil, Brazil,
Brazil.
Brazil. Okay, we got a few Brazilian weddings this year. They
Yes.
were fun, but you said like the one in. You said the one in December, the one in August.
That's hard.
You enjoy both.
Yeah, I enjoy both of them.
It's like both have different feeling. I would say like
Yes.
it was different vibes. It's crazy
Mhm.
how to think like you kind of go to these weddings and you think like of the people maybe behind the camera, like behind the screen things, like maybe like everyone is the same because you probably not hasn't been like behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
once you go behind the scenes and you film enough weddings, you realize not every wedding is the same. Like every wedding has a different vibe, a
Yep.
different environment, a different like
Different
different
emotions.
emotions. I mean, everybody is different at the end of the
Mhm.
day, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about it. It's like you cannot produce the same type of weddings because not everybody is the same. Like the emotions are not the same. Not everybody reacts the same. So yeah, they were both very cute weddings. I also like those. one of my two favorites too.
Mhm.
Um, I would say like for me, my favorite wedding of this year, tough.
Okay. Do you remember which one made me cry?
Uh, the August?
August?
No?
No. Well,
Well,
oh,
yeah,
them?
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we can say it was Place Chateau. The wedding, Matthew and Steph. It was, yeah, it was. I mean, again, going back to like every wedding is not the same. It's like
No, it
that's the
wasn't them.
representation. No, it wasn't them.
No. With the fireworks.
The fireworks. What are you talking about? I know which one you're talking about. I'm just thinking of Gabriella and Alex.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I felt like if you watch that film, man, it's like you can feel why we say this.
Yes.
Um,
They were really a cute couple, and it was a nice story, and it was a bit sad, and you can feel the emotions through the video as well.
yeah, I think this has been, I don't know why, but this has been one of those years where it hasn't happened to us that often. Like over these years, we haven't had this, but I think we had like three couples that their parents passed away before the wedding,
Mhm.
and that's kind of sad because we never experienced that as when videographers. We never experienced to have a couple kind of like almost grieving while they're almost about to get
Yeah.
married, and it was sad. I mean, it was sad, but at the same time, I felt like a lot of love too,
Mhm.
a lot of people supporting, and
A lot of people coming together,
yeah. So
the family especially.
I think if you're going through a bad time, I would say like weddings are like the best place to get all that love and have everybody come together to kind of support you or whatever is happening in your life. I think weddings can really help you in that. But yeah, that was a wedding that also. I mean, I got
Mando.
chills editing for sure. It's Lacey Cat, bro. Come on.
Mando.
But I'll say my favorite wedding for this year and why. Oh, my favorite wedding, my favorite wedding of this year and why was probably I would say the Disney wedding again because even though it was challenging, I felt like this year that wedding compared to last year's wedding, Disney wedding, it had a lot of I don't know what, like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it really felt like fairy tale wedding. Like it
Yeah.
really,
Not only that, I mean, we knew already what was coming, what we were going to do, and all of that in a certain way. Compared to the first wedding that we did
no, the
over
first
there,
wedding was chaos, bro. Like, but it was chaos.
it was.
We were
It
rolling with the
wasn't chaos.
punches.
It's just that we didn't know how hard it is to do a Disney wedding,
Yeah,
and and when you had to do all of that, like in a just a like a small time, you had to do a lot of stuff, and you had to be like rushing, 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 rushing.
yeah. No, I think the people that does this, because there's a lot of Orlando people that do Disney weddings pretty much all year long.
Mhm.
My respect to those people because they
Yes.
do get odd hours and nobody works. They have a lot of pressure, which you don't get in all the weddings. And on three, I feel like the whole thing of where you park, where you can park, all this, it's like a lot of logistics that you had to plan ahead of time. But
Yes.
I think it was, for me, it was a good challenge. It was
Mhm.
good to be able to go back and not only go back, but be able to go to a park and actually film too, which it was part of my dream
Yes.
going to a park and be like, hey, I film at that park, which I cannot mention it. Fortunately, I cannot mention it. You just gotta how to find out for yourself.
You can watch it on the video.
You can watch it on a video. I cannot mention it because honestly I can NDAs, but um yeah, I mean that was pretty much the my one of my favorites. Obviously, there's highlights of other ones during the year that I really enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely that one was one of my. It was on the top of my favorite for sure. Um,
Yeah.
we are like 26 minutes. I promised myself to do this in less than 40 minutes because obviously we got other things to do. We gotta do a wedding, literally New Year's Eve wedding. We have a New Year's Eve wedding. It's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to just like be done for weddings for like at least a few weeks. Like we've been filming, guys. We December was like
Yeah.
insane. Like we've
It
been
was
filming weddings like
insane.
from December 1st. We've been filming weddings, so it's like like how many weddings we did? Like three, and it's gonna be the fourth
Three.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And all there were traveling. We got North Carolina. We had Orlando.
Yes.
We had now. We came back home. We did one at home.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't had one at home like for a while.
Yeah, so we did one at home early December, and then
Mhm.
we went to Orlando, and then we took like a week and a half off. That was like December 24,
You know,
the Christmas
holidays.
holidays kind of time. I was not gonna take any weddings during holiday season. That's not my type of
No.
to take weddings and holiday. And then we decided to take a New Year's Eve wedding, which we haven't done in like 2 years. But yeah, that's all. Yeah, we're doing a New Year's Eve wedding, so I'm trying to keep it this short so I can upload this tomorrow and schedule it for tomorrow. But I will say for next year, one of the things that I want to improve I think as a person, as a business owner too, is be better at my time and being able to be more restricted to how much time I put in certain things that are not giving me maybe that we like in business it's called ROI, which is return on investment. Like if I'm investing time in a certain thing, like I want to make sure I'm putting the time necessary for that. If it's not good and it's not gonna give me that ROI, then I'm not gonna invest it my time or
Yeah.
money if I'm putting money too. But just get better at that. And I'm also thinking maybe like for next year, I'm probably want to slow it down a bit on weddings. Not like slow it down and cutting some weddings. We did a lot this year. We did a ton this year, which feel blessed for it. But at the same time, kind of want to kind of sit back and take more time for the weddings that we book,
Mhm.
and the editing room be more um
Dedicate ourselves more.
I'll say so. Dedicate more time into to
Mhm.
some of those films that I feel they should have more time to. At the end of the day, this is a film that someone's gonna look back for years, and we wanted to make sure it's something that is true to them, and not only true to them, but it also feels true to them in 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's why my route I'm going. I don't want to do more like volume, which has been great. You know, we do a couple weddings a year, but I kind of want to just cut down a bit. That's my goal for next year, and I guess I wouldn't say slow it down and travel. I would say like just be mindful where we travel
Mhm.
more. Like it's like you want us at your wedding, sure we can travel to anywhere you want to go to travel, but then there's gonna be and like some costs added to it. Like be more mindful about the pricing that we given for travel weddings,
Yeah.
and get paid for the time that we do on those dates, because you do lose some days or work too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my goal for next year. And personal goals: lose more weight. I want to lose more weight. I did lose weight this year more than last year. I want to lose more. I want to be close to 200 or less than 200, so that way I can just like feel better. I don't know, look better too. Personally, opinion. And
But you look good.
we're going. We're rolling with the punches, like whatever we got. But yeah, I just think like that side. I just like want to improve my health more this year, like coming up year 2025. And more personal goals. I don't know. I think that's kind of my personal goals. Also like clean up like a lot of personal stuff, like the like get more fit, like and be more clean on my health, my food that I'm eating, all these
Mm-hmm.
things. Um, Hopefully by next year. I told you this year, and it's funny because I think this year was a year of growth, and we always talk about growing, and I think there's parts of years where you grow as a person, you grow as a business, and I think this year was both.
Yeah.
Maybe next year for me is gonna be a grow as a person and not as a business, but more of like then we build something. Now it's time to get some of the fruits back,
Mm-hmm.
although you build. So I think next year for me, profitability is something that I want to be more restricted with the business, which I think not a lot of artists see this. That is like we are doing this of course for the love for art, but we also need to make a living out of it. Like we if now you're just it's a hobby at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So I feel like you have to as a business do do be mindful about your profit margins and be mindful of like what you want to achieve and be more profitable, because at the end of the day it's like you if you want to stay for longer in this business you need to make profit. It's a business at the end of the day and you need to make money. So yeah, what about your goals for next year, personal and
Mm.
business? Got no personal goals, Amanda?
I don't know yet.
Well, you're putting in front of the camera. What is your personal goals?
Come on, why you do this to me?
No, I'm not doing this to you. That's good.
Okay, my personal goals for next year will probably be losing a little bit of weight as well. Um, Health related, yes. Probably, I don't know, trying to wake up early a little bit, probably.
Okay.
No, cut it from that.
You just yeah, wake up early, man.
I work a lot, Amanda.
I know. I know. We all work a lot. If not, Amanda's not full time on this. I'm the full time here.
Yeah, his.
She still has her job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, business wise, why you see the fourth film for next year want it to be like? Obviously, I sit down with you and I talk a lot about what this new rebranding, redoing our brand means for me, and like I want it to be, but like why you want the fourth film to be for next year?
Um, I want to go to continue like, do love stories for those couples that wants to work with us. Like we want to kill it.
Okay, you just want to like
Just continuing doing a good job like we always have done. But I know we're going to be better this year.
but like how like next year is gonna you like you said like be better, but in what sense?
Amanda, have you said it before? This year has been like a learning process. So probably next year, well, not probably, we had to put in progress what we have learned from this year to next year, the 2025. So the things that we had learned already on 2024, improve it a little bit and make it better on 2025.
Okay, I didn't. I mean, yeah, I feel bad for saying this for Armando View, but I started Armando View 2019 when I wanted to get out of my corporate job and wanted to jump into filmmaking and photography. That was, first of all, that's one of the two things that I was doing, photography and filmmaking. And then I started myself, and I didn't know what was going to be. I was just like, oh, I just take pictures and videos. That's what I do. I didn't have any like orientation of what it to be. I just, hey, I opened a company. That's all that I knew. And during this couple of years, I learned like what I wanted to do with the camera. And you know, Armando View evolved after a year. Like I did my first website, and then I got a new website, and then like we redo the website again.
Yes.
And we did it again. So that's 4 years. Like every year we've done like a new website. Like it's been,
I mean, every year you change.
I agree.
You get better.
You get better. Yeah, I agree. So every year we changed. We did a new website. We did another website. And, you know, we evolve eventually to a different style that I feel like we have a very marked style. Like I feel like last year, and this is not like lying to you because I got it from other brides when I got into their consultation calls. I asked, one of my questions I asked brides was like, why do you like our style? And I noticed through the months it did change the answer. Like I feel like the first January, February, March, a lot of them were like, I don't know, your films are like good, but they are like a little bit different. Like one says something, one says another, and one is like editorial, one is like very story driven, one is very funny, one is like so. And then they're not booking, but some of them. But I feel like that was a sign for me to, during those times, to be like, we need to have a more marked style. For some people, it's like, no, like it's good that you have such a diverse style because you can fulfill a lot of couples because you're very versatile on your style. But one guy says, and I think it's Brian who told me this. Brian Cruz told me this. Like, a man of trades, of every trade is a man of no trade, or like something like that. So basically means is like, if you're for everybody, you're not for nobody, because like you don't have someone to attract for your specific style, for your specific thing. I think that you're just attracting the whole group. So well, through these months I've been developing the style more and more into a point where like we got a basics of what our style is, and it's like it's story driven wedding. Like that's literally your style. It's a story driven wedding with like a very touchy of nice shots and editorial and all these artistry and all these, but our center core is a story, like story driven. Like there's no funny music video bumping them down. There's none of that. It's all full like story driven weddings, and that's what I'm gonna say. And like now the last consultation I'm being, a lot of couples have noticed is like, yeah, I would like that you tell our story. It's not like a music video or things like that, which in a few months back a lot of people weren't happy for that. Like that we were different, like we had different type of stories. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't know, I want to finish this up because we already passed the time. It's almost
Michi, say something.
39 minutes.
Say thank you to people.
Thank you, Michi. All right, buddy. So I want to wish everybody a good Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I hope you guys have a successful 2025. We're done with 2024. I'm done. Tomorrow is my last wedding. And then after that, I'm happy to launch my new brand, and the new things are coming up, and happy to like wrap it up this 2024. And I wish everybody a Happy New Year, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.